The Trulies, I like the Trulies a lot. The Trulies are actually
might be my favorite.
Yeah, same.
I prefer to just have liquor.
That too.
That part.
Like, why mess around with these? And the only reason why I was going to do that was because they've been sitting in the refrigerator. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and drink one of those or whatever. And I was like, no,
so what are you drinking now?
Canada Dry.
Come on, radiate black joy. That black boy joy. That black boy joy. That black boy joy. All right, here we go.
Hey, community. Here's what's brewing today.
Winter Olympics.
The Janet Jackson doc.
And DNA in me. So get your cups ready for Minority Report. Happy Black History Month. It's Auntie Kerel.
Hey, it's Auntie Dawon.
And it's Auntie Jerrell. Black.
Hey. And it's Minority Report, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in.
Right. Welcome back to Minority Report.
And pushing those buttons.
And having those fingernails.
Exactly. Eating pickles and everything.
That still is one of my favorite memes. The one with her looking at the where she's typing and she's eating at the same time.
I love that. She actually just did something else. She just did another video just recently that's actually kind of going a little viral, but not as much as that one. I forget what. I literally just saw her on Sunday. On something too.
Yeah, because I haven't seen her in a minute.
That camel chew girl is real. She's sitting there,
honey.
It's so relatable. It is so relatable because, like, if I think about how I am when I'm working and I'm not on like a Zoom call,
you're in there smacking.
See, her energy,
eating and typing.
See, her energy for me is when I'm overworked, when I don't want to be here. One button at a time.
But it's the sound effects for me.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, I don't even know her name.
I don't know either. I don't know either.
It's like she's like one of those people that you know when you see her, but if someone like said her account, I'm like, who? It's like I don't know her.
Her.
Oh yeah,
I know her. Yeah, I know her. Just not her name.
So don't.
It's like that other woman, the other black woman that did the cinnamon challenge like a couple of years ago.
Oh,
remember she ate that
I
big
actually remember her
spoon.
name. Is it something else? Giselle? Something?
Sure.
Jerrell. I don't know.
Not Charlene's.
That's a throwback moment right there. We
haven't
said her name in a while.
We forgot about
her.
Season
one. That's a season 1 reference.
Yeah, you gotta go back a few episodes on that one. But anyway, well, this is a prime opportunity to say subscribe, download, share, and all that good stuff. If you just happen to find us on this episode, you have 156 other ones before this one to check out. So, we appreciate you. Oh, man. We haven't said this. The Winter Olympics have started last week now, and we've been meaning to talk about it. Are y'all interested? Are y'all watching?
I will be watching. I got a friend actually competing in skeleton. So
really,
yeah.
Ooh, and they be having them thighs and then the lycra and everything on the spandex. Yeah, I'll be watching that one too.
I'll be watching.
Woo. Them and them speed skaters, honey.
The thighs of them speed skaters, the ass, let me tell you, number power. You see them and you just be like, vroom, vroom, bitch. Just like.
Got that V8.
Right? Just.
I know they back be hurting though. They gonna have arthritis when they get old.
Oh, for sure. Where they be hunched over like that,
right? It's like I know your spine curved.
Okay.
Got that scoliosis.
Yeah, but
you got them thighs.
Look, but I love watching figure skating. I love watching figure skating so much.
Yeah.
I literally will not forget the women's hockey team.
Yeah.
Last Winter Olympics, that was up until 2:00 in the morning watching them beat Canada in a shootout.
Yeah.
Woo, I was hyped. I mean, and I had to go to work the next day. I still remember that. That had me. I was telling a friend the other day, I was like, you know what? Every time I see the flag, I'll be like, fuck America. But when the Olympics comes around, I'll be like,
fuck yeah, America.
USA. And then every other day, I'll be like, fuck America. Like, fuck this place. I'll be over it. Yeah.
I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered.
So you don't like the Winter Olympics?
I don't like any Olympics. I really don't. It's a struggle. I mean, maybe I'm the only one.
I'm okay.
It's like you can keep that all that cold shit.
The one I want to try, curling.
I want to try curling too.
I want to try.
That's
curling.
a fascinating sport. Like let
really
that shit come on like a regular off year Olympics, and I'll be sitting there like, ooh,
yeah, sweep that shit, bitch, sweep that shit, bitch.
Don't sweep that shit, bitch.
And I'll be looking at my flows like,
it's like, damn, I need to sweep my shit.
Literally. Oh man.
Yeah, I like the win. I mean, I enjoy the Summer Olympics a little more, but I'll be watching. Like I'll be watching skiing and all that stuff because I can't fathom like downhill skiing going that fast and having that amount of control.
Yeah, and like, have to be going through them flags like that too. And you watch somebody eat it, their body
it's
just
the worst.
I mean, damn,
it's the worst.
And they get up, and I be like, "You a strong bitch."
Ooh, you a G.
I would have just laid there and then rolled like, off.
Right. You gonna cry when you get in the car.
Look, for real though. For real. I'd be too embarrassed.
Right.
I'd be too embarrassed.
It's just like, let me lay here. Just let me lay here.
Yeah, just let me lay here. Cut to commercial.
Honey, period. But it's crazy, like Beijing, however you say it.
Not Beijing.
Right, but I think they said right, the Beijing. But I think they say Beijing over there, and we say Beijing over here, like we've Americanized it. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. Like, and I only learned that from when they had the Olympics, the Summer Olympics there, like whenever that was, 2008. But anyway, like the amount of just security and everything they have due to COVID there is wild, to the point where like NBC is not sending announcers, or they might send like a handful of announcers over there.
No, they're supposed to be.
So all of them are going now.
Are here and they're doing the recording in Connecticut.
Okay, well, staying their ass home, and then like the amount of quarantine they've had to do there, and then the Olympians are saying, "Man, we won't even know we're pretty much in China because we're literally in the hotel room, or we're like competing. There's like no in between. You can't go outside or nothing."
And wasn't there like a expose about their accommodations, like the Olympians' accommodations, like they had them like in bunk beds or something like that?
Oh, really? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that was like a couple. It was like not a couple weeks. It was like last year that they were doing a little expose about like the accommodations that those that are competing will have to stay in while they're over there. Not great.
I know the Olympians now are like, damn, all them years we've been hearing about them sexcapades and everything, we ain't get none of that.
Right.
So, shit.
I was just messing with my friend, and I asked him too. I'm waiting for him to respond. So I'm like, did you get them free condoms though? Period. It's like, let me see what that skeleton body do. What's your friend's name? Like, you want to say his name at all so we can root for him? Yeah, Andrew Blaster.
Okay.
Yep, and he's openly out as well too.
Okay. Is that a stage name or is it a real name?
That's his real name.
Okay, now
Andrew Blaster.
So yeah. I'm super excited. Yeah, I know him from volleyball. He plays in a lot of the NAGBA tournaments, and we've traveled around and played with each other and against each other. So
is this his first Olympics?
Yeah, this is his first Olympics.
Okay, Nice. Yeah. Okay, then. Well, we'll check him out.
Yeah.
See what that body yachty do. Right. And shout out to Rihanna. She out there up in these streets, in these Harlem streets, down the street from Dawon. I'm like, Dawon, how'd you not know? Like literally around the corner.
We knew. Like, I need you to insert the soundbite from my statement about the Met Gala and her outfit, and I clocked it then, saying she was pregnant. That damn quilt to the Met Gala.
You did.
I mean, you did, but that was a while ago.
Right, it's like that was like 13 months ago. No, just
no, it was not. It was faux. It was faux. I did look because I made sure I was like, you know what, she was. She
found out that weekend. She's like, I'm doing this cool
thing. So she probably couldn't be in something crazy. She couldn't be in something crazy because you got to be. Your body has to be. Yeah. In some shit.
But you know what she did? But she filmed her lingerie show, and you can tell then, and that was after that.
I think the lingerie show was before. She recorded it before the Met Gala.
Maybe.
I think it just came out after the Met Gala, but it was filmed before the Met Gala.
Well, good for her. She still looked dope. Like, I'm like, Rihanna, you pretty. Yeah. And she got that belly jewelry going on. I'm like, okay, everybody, everyone in the Black community about to do the same kind of shit for the next 2 years.
Yeah. She gonna troll us too by naming that baby music. Be like, yeah, I know y'all said y'all wanted some music. Here you go.
Oh my God. Literally, my first thought was like, we ain't getting no damn album no time soon.
Lullabies. She going to the baby sector now.
That's it. Shine bright like a diamond. No damn album. But congrats to her and ASAP. So
the internet is clowning them. Look,
they're clowning Drake.
The way they came for Drake and Chris Brown, I fell out. What was that? The one of them was like, it was a clip of a person who was interviewing. He was like, I met all the credentials. I know why they didn't choose me. But I guess that's not who they wanted. I was like,
the internet just stay playing. I'm like, y'all need to leave people alone. But this shit funny though.
Had me in real tears.
Well, the killer part about it is they like Drake and Chris been having kids, like so it's. They're not bothered. They're not at all, but it's just the internet trying to stir some stuff up where it doesn't. For sure.
You're right, because Chris got about 5 of them.
Right.
And Nick Cannon just announced his 8th one. I'm like, dude, like, you stay fucking. Yeah. I'm like, good Jesus.
Out.
Honey.
Pull out.
Like, you gotta work the rest of his life.
Yeah. That's just got to be so hard because, they lost that baby, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, gosh, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine, like the amount of psychological warfare that happens when, you know, you have a child and that child, you lose that child, like post-birth. Yeah. You've gotten to know them, you've introduced them to everybody, you've been living with them, raising them or whatever. And then to not have them around, and then, a couple months later, you're now pregnant, and you're expecting another child, and it's just, man, that's
how do you not carry that
tough.
with?
Yeah, that's tough. I can't even imagine. I just can't even imagine.
On a different note, though, I am curious. How do like do the siblings know each other? I'm very curious as what that dynamic is too.
I would think so.
Like Monroe and Morocco, is
Mariah been like
older cousins?
Yeah, like are they like is Mariah like you can go see your stuff, your half siblings or whatever the case is, or is she like nah?
I feel Mariah thought like nah, you ain't gonna know all them children.
I feel the same way too. I just don't see Mariah being like, oh yeah, that's your go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she would have like a cutoff. Like, yes. when Monroe and Rocco or whatever were like babies or whatnot, he started having they separated and then he started having kids with somebody else. The first one, she was like, yeah, okay, I'll play along and get along, whatever. But after about the third woman you with and you didn't have like it. It's like
she's probably
17 degrees of separation. I don't care if it's the same daddy. Come on now.
Yeah.
Like enough is enough.
You're right.
Can you imagine the question like, why do we have another one? Why do we have another brother or sister? Like, that's the question that they would be asking. Like, wait, so we have another one?
Another one.
Right, another one. Papa was a Rolling Stone. I'm just saying.
Facts.
Yeah, but congrats. I mean, I'm not gonna knock any new life, but you might need to get a vasectomy, yo. You know, like, I mean, or freeze the sperm, get a vasectomy, and then if you want more kids, you have the option. But he clearly don't know what condoms and pulling out and all that is.
But you know what, though?
Just don't give a fuck. That's the ultimate sign of I'm not giving a fuck.
Yeah, and there are tons of reports that he's just an excellent father. You know, like, it'd be a different story if he was like a deadbeat, you know, and known to just be like whatever. But like he loves children. He loves his children. He's an active father, and all of. I mean, I talk about this like, you know, we be hanging out.
You're talking like you just talked to Nick last night.
Right, exactly. When I was over at Mimi's house, and we were drinking a little Cristal, you know. We just saw him roll up, you know, in a Winnebago with all of his kids.
With all the children.
Right. With his little school bus of children. They filing out holding hands.
That's wild. That's too funny. Did y'all watch the Janet doc?
Sure did.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Community, here's your spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it yet, we're about to talk about it. Because you know we've been like hyping this shit up for like the last year since we saw the first trailer. So here's your chance. Fast forward, look in the timestamps in the episode notes. Because here we go. So who wants to go first? What you think, Jerrell? Like overall, and then maybe we'll start to dissect it.
Overall, it was cool. I still don't felt as if it was like as authentic as real. Like, I felt like I was a little force-fed, you know, kind of a particular image that was shown. But I enjoyed that most of the focus was truly on her. Now, how much of it was the made for TV for home, you know, I don't know. But when you think about what you know about Joe Jackson, you know, when we know about Michael, like her story just felt very fluffy compared to some of the other stories we've heard and that we know about the family and the history. But I will say this, it reminded me just how much of a bad bitch Janet Jackson is.
Period.
Like, and I'm not saying is. You know, like, Beyonce is my queen. But I cannot say Beyonce is my queen without first thinking about Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, this documentary reminded me of just how much she was doing that, like, was pushing the envelope that was so different than what we were seeing, you know. She's the blueprint. Music. Yeah, she really freaking is. And I loved seeing the evolution of just, like, each album was a different version of her. Like, you just saw her grow. You saw her change. Like, all the stuff that I love about Beyonce, I'm just like, damn.
Janet did it first.
Did that. Yeah, like, literally, it was like, damn, Janet did it first, yo. Like, so I thought that was cool. I feel like some of the people that were talking in the documentary as well, though, too, just, again, goes back to that force. Felt like they were trying to get people who would speak on things for a certain type of view. Yeah. But, like, there were some people who didn't even need to be in there. Like, Mariah Carey was in there for like 2 seconds, and I was just like,
and she made it about her. She's like, I wish I could have had my titties out.
Exactly. I wasn't allowed to do that. Right. You know, I'm just like, you know, people like Missy was barely in there. Sierra had like a 5-second little clip in there. Like, it was just weird. There were so many people who were in there that didn't have much to say, that they didn't say much. Yeah. So it was just like, what's the point? It felt like they were trying to fill space for me. So, but overall, I enjoyed it. I love seeing that her albums were like number one,
period,
top on the charts, and some of her songs as well too. That's literally all I did after watching it was literally went and played Velvet Rope. I played Janet, played All For You, like Control. Like it just reminded me how much of a bop. Yes. Like she's got bop after bop after bop after bop.
And you don't have albums that have like, how many albums have 5 number 1 songs, 7 number 1 songs on one album?
It didn't do it until Katy Perry did it with her California Girls album. That's the only person, which is crazy to say Katy Perry, but it's just like it lasted that long. And it's so hard, and it hasn't really been done since even now Katy Perry. Like that shit is hard to do.
Ariana Grande is the only other person that has done that.
It's just like that shit's hard to do.
And one could only imagine if, the whole Super Bowl thing did not happen. Yeah. One could only imagine. Yeah. Like imagine if Serena Williams, got banned for tennis.
Yeah.
Like at the height of her career. Let's call it 10. Let's just say 10 years ago.
The height.
Like it just and coming back into it, like that degree of separation, like all the ways that she as an artist could have pushed the genre forward and been more of a trailblazer, for other women artists and whatnot. One could only imagine what she could have accomplished, had that not happened.
Yeah. And they let her out there to like, I have to say this, the fact that she said too, that she's like, I told Justin. She was like, that was the part I was like, damn.
I was like, oh.
You told Justin not to say anything.
Black Twitter wasn't having it though. Black Twitter was like, fuck that. Fuck Justin.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing to Fizz. I was like, I'll forgive Justin. And I said, nope, I tried it. Can't do it. I said Beyonce forgave Jay-Z, and I still call him Beyonce's husband. I still haven't forgiven him.
Damn, I was like, Janet must be featured on Justin's new album or something.
Because the real thing, because he should have done it anyways. He should have said something anyway. Yes. Like if someone was like, "Hey, I would take the heat," that would make me want to step in even more. But like, no, like I appreciate you. No, we're gonna go through this together. You know.
And to couple that with the fact that his career took off on the heels of her embarrassment.
Yeah.
No.
It was interesting too, just like for how massive Janet was, because unfortunately, like the Super Bowl kind of dimmed or artificially dimmed the star. I'll say it that way. But just to see some, like, because as a Janet fan, a lot of it I kind of already knew, so I was like, okay, it's just a refresher course. Here, a few little nuggets that I was like, oh, okay, that further explains something. But like just to see the behind the scenes, you forget like during the Janet era how big she was, and then the Michael shit to come along, and so for her to lose like that Coke deal, like that would have been like massive, because like to have Janet as Coke and everybody knew the Jacksons as Pepsi, that would have been fire.
Yeah,
that would have been so fire. So it just sucks that. Like she said it, like, like she's like, I support my brother, but it's like the guilty by association. And she's like, of course I'm going to support my brother, but did it have negative connotations and repercussions for my career as well? Absolutely. And for her to even do Scream, and it was just sad to kind of hear like how she said like during certain times in their lives where she just felt that switch, and it just shows you how crazy fame is. And how big Michael Jackson was, like that even within the family dynamic, she saw it switch. And sometimes it's like almost impossible to stop it. But for her to still support her brother and do like the Scream album and then still be on set and be like, damn, they still trying to separate us. Like, that's wild. And it was interesting for her to kind of be vulnerable in that aspect.
How was it a $7 million music video?
Honey, I remember they used to have that on TV saying it was $7 million. Like,
because it was all of the artificial, like
the digital stuff.
It's basically all digital. Like all
and
of
the guitars each were like
and
$50,000 each, and they broke like 20 guitars. I was like, that's crazy. That's rich, where you could get like a $50,000 guitar and have all these takes of you just breaking guitars.
But I'm so glad that they did that video together. I'm sure she's like really grateful that they had the opportunity to do that video together, because obviously they performed together as kids, but there's nothing like, you know, being in your grownness and doing something creative and whatnot. And it was so cute, like watching brother and sister in that bedroom, like drumming up lyrics and, you know, talking shop and like doing the stuff that they love.
And I still wish he used the lyric, the whole system's fucked instead of sucks. I was like, yeah, Michael, talk that shit. The whole system is fucked. He's like, of course I can't say that, though.
Mom would be upset.
Right? That's wild that they still, just Katherine Jackson looks amazing, and she's like 94 years old. Yeah. Rebe looks amazing, and she's like 71 years old. Janet's gonna look like Rebe at that age. Like, they look similar to me. Like, it's weird. They all look the same to me, but I'm like, ooh, Rebe, come on, Miss Centipede.
I felt like I really enjoyed the documentary. You know, and I mean, you have to take it with a grain of salt, knowing how private Janet is and how she operates. The fact that the little bits of new things that we did get, you know, like for example the Renee Elizondo you know, home movies and whatnot, that to me was mind-blowing to have insight, because, you know, we knew that eventually we all found out that she was married and been married for like 10 years and like after the fact, you know, so that's how private it was. But you really didn't know any details about their relationship. And just to see them like frolicking together on the beach, and, you know, him proposing to her, you know, underneath the tree in the park, and, you know, like having their interactions and watching them work together on like, you know, tour and in the videos was just really, it was really cool, because it's just a side that you didn't get to see. I feel like, and I don't know if this is like, I don't know how much creative control she had over the whole vision of this thing. But I feel bad for someone like Janet, who ultimately has to share the spotlight with other people. Like, it's supposed to be Janet's documentary. And, you know, like, even, you know, she had mentioned like, yeah, you know, whenever I would go somewhere, you know, they would always ask me about my brother, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, even in this documentary that's supposed to be about her, they're bringing other things in, you know, that, you know, it really shouldn't be about. So I wasn't really a fan of that, because I just feel like there's so much stuff that's already out there that talks about that. That's like, why waste the airtime? Like, and you're not bringing anything really new
right,
at all, you know, to the conversation. So, you know, why spend that time doing that? I didn't get that at all.
And I wonder if it's almost like the youngest, not syndrome, but the youngest like feelings, because you kind of hear that a lot from like people that are the youngest, that they always feel like no matter how successful they are and things like that, that they're always in the shadow of their older siblings and things like that. So it's interesting, as big of a star Janet Jackson is, she even felt that. And it's hard because, I mean, your sibling's fucking Michael Jackson. So it's just like, it's wild. And so you almost get a double dose of that. It's like, I'm the youngest in the family, so they probably already picked on me, calling me Dunk and whatever, all those names you were saying.
Right.
And then my brother is Michael Jackson? And so shit, I just had 7 number ones. I just did Control, and your ass is asking me if Michael's baptized. It's like, bitch, give me a beat. Do you know who the fuck I am? So yeah, no, I agree, and it was cool too. Like, this was like a very small moment of it, but I love like obviously the iconic Rolling Stone cover, but I liked looking at the different pictures they also took in that session, and how fucking pretty Janet Jackson is. Janet is so fucking pretty. I'm like, oh, I can't take it.
I love that little studio moment that they showed where she and Jimmy J were not getting along. I was like
that too.
We have not seen this version of Miss Jackson.
And you know why I like that one too? Because like, here goes the music nerd of Kerel. I always listen to Jimmy Jam's interviews because he's just interesting. He talks a shit ton. So like, I've learned a lot about Janet through his interviews, and he always brings up this fight. And I'm glad they show the insides of it, because he brings it up in damn near every interview he does. He's like, yeah, you know, because they always ask like, were there ever any disagreements with you and Janet and things like that? And he's like, yeah, there's this one time literally we got fired from Rhythm Nation. And it was cool to see that was probably the moment that he's been talking about for the last 30 years and to kind of show the insides of it. But where's the rest of this footage? I want to see, like, what else does Renee have?
Yeah.
Because if he didn't have
I'm sure
an
it's a lot because
switch,
he was. Well, and they said that he was recording a lot. I'm sure they had to like cut a lot of things. One, they had to, get rights to this stuff because they weren't together. I honestly feel like if Renee never got into drugs, Janet would have still been married. She would have still been married to him. They probably would have had like a gang of kids or whatever. Like the story would have played out so differently. And I was just so sad for her because throughout the video, she was talking about like who she wants. She's like, yeah, I seem to be attracted to people that, that are addicted to drugs. And it made me wonder, like, okay, well then what happened with you and Wasim? I don't know.
Yeah, honey, he was not in the documentary
at all.
Well, damn. I was like,
that NDA is strong. It's ironclad. She's like, you will not mention my name. You will not show a picture. You will not do anything.
Damn. Didn't even acknowledge that she had another relationship after Jermaine Dupri, who slept around. I'm like, him and Jay, how you going to sleep on Janet and Beyonce? Like, who you fucking? Like, who?
Anybody and anything. Look, when your wife is out on the road, I'm not saying excuses, but I'm just saying, like, when your wife is out on the road or whatever, and you out and pussy being thrown in your face 24/7, like like these chicken heads be doing.
It was crazy to think that they were doing a long distance relationship, though, that he was in Atlanta and she was in LA. Like,
And then the whole bars. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, like it sounds like a lot, but I mean, when you're a person of means and you can easily hop on a private jet and be like, I'll be there in a couple hours. It's like,
I'll see you in 5 hours.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
It's like it's not even the full work day. Like I don't even see I see my husband less during the day too. But it was just interesting how much she divulged about the DeBarge stuff too. Like she was kind of like still, and it was interesting. Like it almost sounds like a lot of these relationships, and I mean I get it. Like we all kind of carry some kind of baggage here and there, even if it's minute. There's something still that kind of maybe emotionally is there. But since like 18 carrying that shit, and it was just crazy. She's like, yeah, here I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because people forget that DeBarge is from Grand Rapids, Michigan. She's like, we just got married, and he said, I'll be right back, and he never came back because he was out doing drugs. Like, yet she still felt, I need to help him, I need to save them, and that's a lot of feelings that a lot of us have had to deal with. Is just trying to save people, but it's not your it's not your burden to bear. No matter if you're married, not married, whatever.
Isn't it interesting? Because all I kept thinking about with DeBarge is that, we knew that they eloped. Yeah. And so the stories, and in the absence of, additional details about their relationship, people make up their own stories in their minds about what that's supposed to be like. I had always assumed that this was like a star-crossed lovers kind of like, we were just magnetized, drawn to one another, just crazy in love and da-da-da-da-da. And it's just wild that, like, she said he never really proposed to her. They just went to a friend to get like them married at
church or something like that. I was like,
right.
Oh, okay.
It felt the way that it was being told was very not anti-romantic. When you think about this girl who's grown up in a public eye, and she could basically have dated and have any man that she could have wanted, especially at that time too. She was on and popping. She was, she was part of this big family dynasty, the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson was popping off or whatever. So at that time, like she could have been with whoever she wanted to. And for all these years, I've been thinking that, oh, wow, it's just a shame that the relationship ended or whatever. But they must have had like a crazy kind of romance. And like to hear that it was kind of like not
anticlimactic, right?
It was like, oh, wow.
And that it still like affected her because she started crying. And here's the thing, like overall, and I guess I didn't give my opinion, just overall, I felt like I wanted more Janet, like maybe even like Janet of today.
Sprinkle a little more.
You know, just kind of like
a little more,
yeah,
a little more
like,
nasty.
I didn't need as many of the old clips, like the Renee clips, dope. Even like the Michael clip at his mom's 80 or his mom's 50th birthday or something like that. Michael, like the Thriller days, Michael's just singing at his mom's birthday party, dope clip. But I'd rather her almost have these sit down moments of like, yeah, this was how I was feeling at the time, instead of kind of just these archives and things like that. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. Because like when it started with her just like crying at the mural in the car, I was like, oh, this about to be good. Is she crying already? And then it kind of just didn't go there. It was cool. Yeah. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad she did it. But it just didn't quite go there for me. Mm-hmm. And
yeah.
Well, maybe this is Janet's, and this is me like, like just projecting or, just thinking positively. Maybe this is her tiptoe in the world of opening herself up. So maybe this is like this documentary was kind of like a peek behind the curtain. Whereas, when she drops that new album and she goes on tour again and things start going on and popping or whatever, and then she does another documentary, we get the good stuff.
I don't know. She ended up saying like, I'm going out with a bang and that's it. So it's something like she got like one more album, one more tour, and said, bitch, I'm raising my kid. Bye. Mm-hmm. So, but no, it again just reminded me how much I love Janet though. I adore me some Janet Jackson. Oh
yeah, I like at the end of the day, like I wasn't like wowed, but it just reminded me how much I'm a fan. I am a stan. I love Janet Jackson. Like, can't nobody tell me that when it comes to Janet Jackson. Like she's that bitch. She is.
Period.
She is.
Oh, and I love that Regina King was in there. Regina's like, oh, I think her and Pac had like
she was like, I don't know if she would ever admit to this.
Because people forget that her and Regina go way back. Like, like, come on, Poetic Justice.
It was funny because I had, like, when I saw Regina King, I was like, what is she? And as soon as I saw it, was like, Poetic Justice. Oh, my God.
And then you saw that meme going around. They're like, this is what Jada looked like, realizing that Pac and Janet had feelings too. I was like, leave Jada alone. Oh my God. I was like, the internet is too stupid for me. Too stupid. Oh my God. Too much. But yes, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, I'm here for it. Yeah. And I hated it was on A&E and Lifetime too. That's another thing I didn't like. I was tired of them commercials. I was like, put this on Netflix.
Yeah, I really wish
took a page from Auntie Dawon's book and she DVR'd that bitch. So she was bloop.
But even then, I was like, I'm tired of pushing these damn buttons. Let me go see the whole thing.
Because copious amounts of commercials. It was like you get one conversation and one interview in, and next thing you know, it's like, okay, another commercial.
They said we got to pay for Janet all this money we gave her. Well, community, let us know what you thought, like what your favorite parts were. If you like it, you didn't like it. Yeah,
let us know. What were you expecting to get that you didn't get?
One more thing. Did you get what you wanted, the explanation for the Super Bowl, though? It seemed like she kind of skimmed over that as well. Like, even though we know she had some interviews and things like that, like, she didn't really fess up to, like, she said, oh, it was a mistake, but she didn't fess up to how much of it was planned and things like that. Like, she kind of, like, divulged in other things, but then it came to that one, and I get that she wants people to get over it. I get it.
Yeah,
but I think this could have been her one time to just be like, this is what happened. Stop talking about me. Let's move on. Yet she kind of left that door.
I got more out of the other documentary where they said that originally there was going to be no reveal. Mm-hmm. And then they wanted to do a reveal, but then the networks and Viacom would not approve it because it was supposed to be a skirt reveal. Right? She was supposed to be wearing something long, and then he's supposed to grab her by the waist and then rip that off, and it's supposed to be a skirt. And then that got kiboshed. And then apparently there was a collaboration that happened, the week prior, and then they they were going to do a top reveal that was going to reveal a bustier.
Right.
And but by the time that got made, they didn't have a chance to do a dress rehearsal. and that's what ended up happening on stage. Now that's what happened with that documentary.
Yeah.
I was hoping that they would kind of like corroborate or
Right.
say a little bit more, but I also kind of like know that she's just like,
done
for
with
someone
it.
who's so sensitive and who got so exposed, and like it becomes such a sensationalistic thing that no matter what she says, no matter how much she says, no matter how little she says, that's people are going to be focused on the wrong thing. So I get it.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to have known like if that was what happened or not.
So we'll never know, because I doubt she's going to say anything else now. And I mean,
She's taking
and
that shit
anyway,
to the grave.
it's Janet Jackson Appreciation Day coming up this Sunday anyway, for the Super Bowl
Yes.
Sunday. So I mean, we'll still talk about some Janet and play some Janet anyway. And I'm looking forward to see what Mary J. Blige does, if she does the Go Mary dance with Dr. Dre and Eminem and Kendrick and everything. But all right, you know what, community? We're going to take a quick little tea break. We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo
Aunteas got
merch! Hey! That's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there. So go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find us at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to minorityareport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! I'm about to go get me some myself. All righty, ladies. You know what time it is. What time it is.
Ask your aunteas.
Who has it this week?
I got it. All right, aunties. So this might be a little messy, but here we go anyway. So I'm openly gay, and I live at home with my parents and my sister. A couple nights ago, when everybody was away, I invited my boyfriend over to Netflix and chill.
Hey.
We migrated into the kitchen to get some snacks, and it turned into an impromptu fuck session, as it should.
It was the snack.
Right. While my boyfriend was hitting it from the back as I was bent over the kitchen table, my sister walked in on us. She didn't say anything, just turned around and left back out the house. I tried texting and calling her, but she's giving me the silent treatment. I don't know if it's because she's embarrassed from walking in on me or upset that we were fucking in the family kitchen. I don't even know what to say to her. What do you suggest I do?
Wait, is she still not in the crib? She's still running. She ran out the crib and never to be seen again. I mean, that's the risk you take if you fucking on your family kitchen where you just have some turkey and some ham, some mac and cheese, shit. I don't know. I mean, give her time to cool off or whatever. Maybe she was embarrassed, you know. I think she will come around, but it is what it is. I mean, like, you grown, she grown. Hopefully y'all all grown, I guess. I don't know. I don't have much to say on this one. It's just like, it is what it is. And give her some space.
I'm sorry, but I can't even imagine seeing one of my siblings having sex.
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't want to see that. No.
Yeah.
Then there is nothing to talk about.
But would you, like, stop talking to them, though?
Probably. What do we got to talk about?
As we finish, as we done.
Hey, I'm trying to erase this from my mind. You know, like, oh no.
That's funny.
What do you say, Jerrell?
I mean,
You been there?
No. I mean, like, I openly talk about sex with my siblings. Like, we talk about, like, especially with my sisters, like, we talk about sex all the time.
But it's talking about sex and then seeing them have sex are two totally different things. You just be like, get it, girl. You did a good job.
No, he said, not in my house. He said, not in my house.
Because it ain't one of those like we just gonna cut. Oh yeah, we hooked up. Like no, we talk about sex. Like
yeah.
She said in House Targaryen.
No.
Let me get the scroll out.
No. Not House Targaryen because they sleep with each other. We don't do that shit. Okay? It's the white people shit. Okay? Yeah. We don't do that shit. But no. I don't know. I guess I would, as a sibling, feel some kind of way. Probably, yeah, just because, like, I'm not gonna knock you having sex, but damn, like, there's a time and place.
Yeah.
You know, like, it is just a little disrespectful to be doing that and a shared space. Now, if you in your room and you at your parents' house, that's your room.
Right.
That is your space. But doing that shit in the kitchen, that ain't cute. That ain't cute. That ain't cute at all whatsoever. And you should have been like, hold on, let's just go walk this 30 feet over here to the bedroom and then handle it in the bedroom. Yeah. Like, you just don't. You just don't. But I wouldn't be like ignoring my siblings or like not answer, because I would just say the same thing. Like, don't do that shit in my house in the kitchen.
It's like, I'm trying to eat them donuts over there. Come on now.
Like, we just said prayer 3 months ago over the food. We just blessed the food on the table 3 months ago.
And now you just got your ass blessed. Damn.
This table is extra holy now, bitch. Like,
I'm sitting here trying to figure out
extra holy. I'm done.
I'm just trying to figure out the musical chairs action that be happening around that kitchen table now that everybody didn't know that he didn't got fucked on one of them chairs. Like,
I ain't sending that one.
Which one is it? Can we put a X marks the spot? So
like, we about to go to Ethan Allen and get a whole new set.
And at that point, I'm not going to your house because I know you be fucking everywhere. So I'm definitely not eating at your house.
That's a valid statement. Like, how did you not hear? How did you not hear like the door? Like, that must have been a good moment if you didn't hear nothing. Like, you ain't hear the fumbling of the keys. You ain't hear the garage door open.
He was in
them
guts.
Nothing.
He was in them guts. That's right, bitch. He was hearing his booty hole like just twitching his ear.
He was hearing the 2 and the 4.
She probably came back home and said, "Ooh, is somebody making macaroni and cheese?"
Ooh, potato salad. You know, it sounds like macaroni salad.
He got that salad tossed.
Honey.
Look, she came in that door like that meme of that black girl walking through that door. Like,
she came in like that baby that come around the corner and then turn back around. Right. Never to be seen again.
We're gonna need a documentary for this family. And 20 years later, we still ain't talked.
Sure ain't. That's funny. So yeah, I mean, I'm with Jerrell. It's inappropriate. There's a time and place. I get it. Like, there's something exciting about, because I mean, I like doing it in random spots and things like that. But like, you gotta take the repercussions of if you got found. Like, if your parents walked in, your sibling found it. Like, if she don't want to talk to, you're not gonna be able to force her to talk to you right now because she in her feelings about it. You know.
Yeah. So what do you recommend that he say to her though? Like, I mean, because clearly she might not want to talk about it. She probably just wants to forget it. Like, if I'm putting myself in the sister's shoes, I would want to forget it ever happened. I would want to forget. I would want to mark that day off on the calendar as like it doesn't even exist. Like, you know. But what would you recommend? How would you recommend he approach the conversation?
Don't say nothing. Don't even say sorry. Don't even say nothing. Give her damn space. Like, besides sorry, like, my bad, sorry, and then give her space. Like, because the only thing you talking about is just bringing up something that she probably wants to forget. Mm-hmm. So
especially whatever position you was in too.
He said he was bent over.
Oof.
She said, I thought you was a top brother.
While my boyfriend was hitting it from the back, I was bent over the kitchen table.
Fucking in the kitchen. Next to the chicken. Yeah, I'm with Jerrell. Say you're sorry, my bad. Give her space. She'll come around. No pun intended.
See, you know what?
Yeah, that's a funny one. That sounds like you had a good holiday season. That's what that sounds like. That's what that is. Woo. But community, continue to send whatever question you want to your aunties at aya@minorityareport.com or DM us. That was a good question. That's funny. Well, community, last week we teased you that we were going to find out how Black we were genetically. You know, we're pretty damn blackity black for Black History Month. And actually, before we get there, we need to say tonight, on Instagram Live, we're doing this all month, and it seemingly is probably around every Monday, it seems like. We will be, I forget who's tonight. Who's tonight, Dawon?
Eve. It's our
yes,
friend
yes,
Eve. Yes. Host of the podcast, All About Eve.
Yes,
All About Eve.
We had Eve on, oh God.
It was a year ago.
Was it a year? It might even been longer at this point. I think it was because, I forget. Everything blurs together.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Talking again, like, because last week we talked to It's a Mess Sis. That was a great conversation. Yes. And just really that intersectionality between being Black and gay and what it means to you this month and how you're celebrating and who's been trailblazing for you and things like that. So check it out. We love having you on these live things. We're trying to do a little more of that this year and switch things up. And so bring any questions that you have, any experiences you have. And hell, you might even be able to hop on it with us and things like that. But that's tonight, 7 p.m. on IG. Find us there. And
7
by
p.m.
tonight,
Eastern time.
And by tonight, Monday.
Wait. Did you say Eastern?
Eastern time. That's that Blackity Black History
Month.
Yeah. I said what I said. Y'all got it.
That's like
message delivered.
That's like that comedian Samore when she says pattern.
Yeah.
From Queens of Comedy.
She's funny.
She is hilarious, yeah.
But yeah, so last week we were teasing about how Black we were because Dawon had just gotten his 23andMe back. And then Jerrell was like, oh, well, mine should be back soon, too. And sure enough, it came back today, I think you said. So I was like, you know what? Let me dig mine up from a few years ago. And we're going to, let's guess. Because here's the thing. We're all assuming by the statement of how Black are we that there must be something mixed in there. But maybe not. Maybe there's certain percentages. Maybe we're 100% Black lady, Black.
Y'all, we cousins. Don't play. Hey, community, plot twist. We all cousins. No.
Right. How funny would that be if we were just going to be like, Jerrell's your fourth cousin? Be like, well, bitch, what? Say words.
I mean,
we all relate.
You never know.
Seriously. Because like some of these people are like your third cousin. I'm like, I do not know who this person is in my life.
I said, never. I was like,
but we share like 5% DNA.
I found someone out here that I have like 19 and in Seattle I have 19% DNA with this person. I was like,
really?
Yeah. And
that's a significant amount.
Yeah, and then they're first cousin.
And you had no clue.
Wow.
Ooh, see this DNA should be telling on families.
Wow.
So okay, how do we want to do this? Do we want to guess each other's percent of non-Black? Is that what we want to do?
I feel like that's going to be the easiest thing to do.
Because there's a hodgepodgeness.
Okay.
Dawon, I'm going to say...
Oh, we start with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say... percent non-Black. I'm going to say 27%.
Okay.
Jerrell, what are you going to say, Dawon?
I feel like I'm on like The Price is Right.
Right.
I know. 27.1.
Right. 201. 201.
Okay, Drew. I am going to say 15.
Okay, what percent non-Black? Or no, how Black are you? We won't say that. We won't say that. Fuck the non-Black. How Black are you?
I am 62.7% Black.
62.7. So that's 38 or 37.8.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. Give us the breakdown.
I am. This is so crazy. So
Who did shock you first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it's very black and white. Pun intended. It's very black and white.
Yeah.
And I was just expecting more diversity.
Yeah.
You know, even in my like my blackness and where like my African heritage DNA came from. Okay. So 62.6% black, and 56% of that is Western African from the Ivory Coast area. So that's Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, like that where they pulled all the slaves from.
Literally.
That area. So I am 26. My highest percentage of heritage. Wait, I'm sorry. My highest percentage of black heritage. Yeah. Because it's not my highest percentage. God, y'all gonna hate me. I'm 26.2% Nigerian. Okay. So I'm gonna be scamming people. That's what we know for, apparently. Mostly from the Igbo people is what they say. And then 15% from Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone area, and then another from like broadly West Africa. So it's like that Ivory Coast, right? You know, we're in, you know, the Nook, the Nook in Africa, right there. That's where my people's from.
That look like a booty. That's where all the booty come from.
Well, except for hers.
But my other percentage explains that.
He blames that on the 34%.
Cancel all that shit out. DNA said up there trying to Bob the Builder with the DNA, and then my other 30-some% said nope. This is where it ends.
I'm so done.
No dancing for you.
Right.
No booty for you. You can't twerk.
That DNA snatched you up real quick. Oh man, that's interesting though. Like, and it's crazy how they could figure this shit out. You know,
but you didn't say the non-black places. I need to hear these places.
Yep. It's basically one place.
England,
British.
Yep.
That's it.
It makes sense because the British fucked the world up.
30 out of 36. Out of 36.6%, 33.5% is coming specifically from Britain.
So that's your highest percentage?
That's my highest percentage.
London top.
I'm gonna have to change this poster.
Girl.
I'm gonna show up next week and it's gonna be the Queen of England, bitch.
He gonna have Harry Styles up there.
I can't. Remember that game? Remember that game about return your black card? Bitch, my DNA said you is not the father. I can't.
Your black card revoked. Damn.
My highest percentage is 33.5%, and it's specifically from Britain.
Do you know what
UK.
side it's likely from? Your mom or your dad? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But the wild thing is, if you look at my parents, they have very similar, like, you know, feature, complexion, and blah blah blah. So I look like both of them. But the reality of it is, it's very binary. Yeah. It's, you know, it's not like, oh well, you know, on my father's side, it's not like my father's like, you know, like black, all black, and then, you know, it's on my mother's side. It has to be coming from both.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it's what's wild is, you know, those family trees, you know, that came to make my parents and make me came specifically from those two areas.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was hoping for a little bit more, like, diversity is something a little bit more interesting, but no.
They said no, bitch. London
She
town.
said no. Yep.
All right, who wants to go next? You want to go next or me?
Next?
I can go next if you don't. Doesn't matter.
So the percent of non-Black, I'm going to say 14%.
Okay.
Non-black. I'm going to go as high as 30.
Okay, interesting.
I'm going to go as high as 30.
Well, it is 13.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on now, Black History Month.
Period.
So she is black. She's
radiating
black joy. Okay. All right. 87%, baby.
Go.
Yeah.
Wow. 13. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your highest percentage?
Yeah. So my highest percentage is 33% from Nigeria. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, see, we could be cousins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We could be cousins.
We could be cousins. My highest is 33 from Nigeria, and then 23 from, is it Cameroon? Is that how you say it, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cameroon, Congo, Western, Bantu peoples. Then like 15, like Benin, Togo.
Yeah.
Mali.
Okay.
Is 9%. 4% Ireland. 4% Senegal, 4% Ivory Coast, Ghana area, 3% England, Northwestern Europe, 2% Portugal, 2% Sweden and Denmark, and 2% France.
Okay.
Wow.
Oui.
Fifi.
Right.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm over here trying to do this calculations right quick.
Yeah, so I knew there was
Did that
something
surprise you? Did that surprise you? That kind of like spread?
A little, just because like on my mother's side, there is a lot more biracial, also light skin, a lot of people on my mom's side of the family are way more light skinned. I'm talking about like almost passing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like my grandmother herself, like completely passing. My great grandmother completely passing. Mm-hmm. And it's not just her. There's a bunch of people in my family that are very light skinned. So I just kind of assumed on my mom's side that there would be more, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not. It's just, maybe when you think about both my parents together, my dad's side of the family is blackity black.
Yeah.
And then, it outweighed, some of the diversity from my mom's side. But I definitely can see some of those other places, those non-Black places, kind of referencing more to my mother's side.
Yeah.
That definitely made a lot more sense. And it also said that I have an athletic, what it says, I have a genetic marker that is similar to those of elite athletes too.
Oh, okay.
Come on now.
All right.
Yeah. And I was like, that's kind of fitting because she loves and plays all the sports.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
Yeah. I didn't have that.
And you did yours with 23andMe?
No, I did mine with DNA Ancestry.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm the last one. How non-Black am I?
I'm going to say yours is probably like 18, maybe 20. Yeah, 20. Okay. No. I'm going to say 20. No, I'm going to say probably the same. I think like 15 for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 25.
25.
Yeah.
It is 19%. So you
were
close with that 18 and the 20.
Yeah.
So, which shocked me. Well, I'll tell you why it shocked me in a minute. So my number one is 39% Nigeria. So that's a pretty chunk of change.
Cousin, hey cousin.
Okay, yeah.
What's happening?
Okay.
And then 24% Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu people. So I should put me some Bantu knots in my hair.
We really are cousins. That's really my second one.
Right? And I feel like when they say like Cameroon, Congo, Western, it's just like they just can't figure it out because they just snatching all of us up back then, and I'm like, they just don't know. They don't know. But then 9% English. And that's the part that started to shock me because the stories I've been told, and we hear it all the time in freaking Black people, is like, oh, I got Native in me. And it's all from and it's funny that you were saying binary for yourself, Dawon. Like, so I made my parents do it as well. And it's all for my mom's side, like a lot of the diversity craziness. And all her like, so she had an uncle that they call, so my parents are from Georgia. And she has an uncle that they call Uncle Red because during the summer he would just get so red in the sun. But they were all told that he was Native. Clearly, this mug must have been white or like a lot white. And like if you see my mom's mom, even if you look at my brother and sister, they're way more fair complected. They've gotten a little darker as they've gotten older. But you look at like my sister and brother baby pictures. Like how you were saying, like passing, like you see it in them a lot more than even myself. But that shocked me, and it shocked my mom too. So when I got it done, like 5-6 years ago, she's like, "Oh," so that's why I made her get it because I was like, "Okay, I want to see where this is coming from. If it's all her side or if it's my dad." My dad's side, it was like blackity black, black, black. And, and it's very interesting because I made my grandpa, my mom's dad, do it right before he passed, and thank God I like did it because his was like 98% blackity black. So it was all her mom, where a lot of the whiteness was coming from. That just kind of passed down or whatever. So 9% English, 9% Benin, Togo. 6% Ivory Coast and Ghana, 4% Scotland, 3% Ireland. So there's some random, just that whole region of the country, English and Ireland and Scotland. 3%.
Somebody got themselves some Lucky Charms,
honey. I done taste the rainbow. Let's see here. 3% Senegal. 1% Sweden, Denmark, 1% Indigenous Americas. So maybe there was some Indigenous Americas way back for me to have 1%. And then, so it says Indigenous Americas, Yucatan Peninsula, 1%, then Indigenous Americas North. So like North America, 1%.
Okay. So, see, I had none of that.
Yeah. So mine was
no North American at all. It's so wild because I was a little scared to like see the results because you have all this folklore in your family about what it is, and then when you have something that's so data driven that tells you like, oh, here's exactly what's going on. It I don't want to say it shatters, but it opens the door for a whole bunch of other questions. I know that. On my father's side, my father's grandfather was an interracial couple. And on my mother's side, my great grandparents on both sides of my mom's mother and father's side were also interracial couples.
Interesting.
And so so I knew there was a lot of that. And not obviously for a lot of people who don't know just American history, whatever, like mulatto children, the mixed race children back in the day were cast out. Like they couldn't really assimilate in, like the Black community because they had privilege of being fairer, but they weren't accepted in white community. So it was this really weird thing where a lot of them found each other. And to have so many stories kind of like going around of like who our parents were, who our grandparents were, and all this other kind of stuff. It's just interesting now to have a little bit of clarity around who you are and how you're made up. But it's wild because like for me being so British, apparently, I've never had an attraction or draw to that area of the world ever.
Really? I could live in London. I could absolutely 1,000% live in London.
I have no interest whatsoever. I mean, I've never been, but
I think you would actually end up liking it way more than you know.
Well, maybe I'll have to explore my ancestral roots and knock
my
on
little
the
tea crumpets,
and knock on the queen's door to invite one of her long lost cousins.
What's up, Granny? Hey!
Now that they're trying to get rid of Prince Philip or whatever, there's a slot open for me to slide on in there. I could be the Duke of Essex, the Duke of Suckadicks.
You win. That's a winner. But yeah, community, if you've done any of this stuff, let us know if you found out something that was just like took you aback. And it's interesting too, just like over time, how these kind of adjust to as like the technology or whatever gets better. Because I hadn't checked this in years, and so literally when I logged in, it was just like it said something like latest info or something. I forget what it said, but I was like, oh shit, they've clearly updated and narrowed down the regions. Because I feel like, especially like when it said like indigenous Americas before, it literally had pretty much like North and South America originally. And so now they've been able to kind of be like, oh, nope, kind of more this region it seems and things like that. So.
And you did yours through 23andMe or you did?
Nope, I did mine through Ancestry.
Okay.
Ancestry.
We did ours, so we did ours to the same.
Yep.
I might do. Do you know that they pair your DNA results up with your ancestry thing or whatever?
You got to pay for all that extra shit. Like I think I did it once just to kind of just starting to try to piece things together. Yeah, but I'm like, I'm paying all this shit, and I don't know if I truly care that much. Like I care because it's cool just to see like all these random like connections where I'm like, oh shit, like. Because, like, our name, like, especially my dad's last name is not a common last name at all. Yeah. So, like, and then, like, my dad's dad, so, like, my grandpa, he was an only boy. So, there's not, like, a lot of lineage out there of just our last name. So, to see some of this stuff pop up, I'm like, okay.
And I'm sure there's some, like, I'm sure, I mean, obviously you can't, you can't pull DNA from people that have been gone for like so long or whatever, but I'm sure there's some kind of some kind of mathematical modeling that they can do, or DNA modeling that they can extrapolate what percentage of your family based on historical context, names, and all that stuff. Because I have an ancestry account. I just, for some reason, I didn't even think to go there to get mine done. I just went to 23andMe. But it would be cool to be able to see, like, see those two married up with one another. Yeah.
And I did find out that, like, my mom and dad are my parents, so. Because it's just interesting. Like, I mean, I look like a hodgepodge of both my parents, but, like, I'm 6'2", and, like, my dad's, like, 5'9", my mom's, like, 5'2", and so, like, I got some throwback gene. Like, I'm the tallest on both sides of the family. So, like, my dad used to always be like, oh, well, the milkman maybe one day, I don't know. But came back that, nope, I'm both of theirs, and it says 100% certain, so got some throwback gene.
You are the father, Mr. Revis.
Right, exactly.
Pastor Revis.
Pastor Revis, you are the daddy. I'm the pappy. Oh, man. Well, I mean, we've been doing the Drag Race recap and reviews so far, so I guess we gotta keep it going here. I know we're a little later in the episode, but hey, what do you think of episode, what is this, 4? Yeah, I think 4. It is episode 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And was it better than episode 3?
I mean, yes, I liked it better than episode 3.
Same here.
I thought it was weird, like, the whole, like, kind of, like, commercial thing, like the kind of like
the teaser,
those are actually kind of funny. I like them. I thought they were good. I don't think the people who were in the bottom should have been in the bottom personally.
Okay. Who should have been in the bottom for you?
Oh shit, now I'm trying to remember names.
All right.
God damn.
Because and I'm horrible with the name. Because it was Miss Puerto Rico was in the bottom, and
Alexa Hunter and Kennedy or Colby.
Colby. Kennedy. Yeah.
Colby Kennedy.
Jamie
Kennedy.
Something like that. Not Jamie.
No, it's not Jamie.
Somebody.
Is it Kendall Colby?
Something like that.
Like that. Anyway,
not important.
Yeah.
Their outfits were great for J-Lo's. Like, honestly, it boiled down to me to the J-Lo outfits, and those were not the worst J-Lo outfits. They were not the worst J-Lo outfits. But I think they more so were coming from the teaser, which if you want to go to the teaser, then yeah, that's fair. But I feel like if you're going to go off of one thing, I would have gone more off of what they brought to the runway, because that's more in the moment, in that moment. And we all know that was rigged, but we all know that she was not going to send the person wearing J-Lo's dress home.
How did J-Lo not end up with her own dress? That's what I want to know.
It's not her.
It's not the... Yeah.
But you think J-Lo would have got first dibs over Carrie Colby? It's like
it was a reproduction of that particular dress for J-Lo. So
it was from the one that she wore the second time, recently,
2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Carrie
she
got
looks
that
great
money.
though. She looked so fucking good down the run.
Absolutely.
Like, what can you say? Like,
I thought she was going home though. Her lip sync was terrible.
Bitch, when she did this motherfucking body roll, I said no.
No.
I said that was the point. I was like, nope, she gotta go. She gotta go. But she knew. But she was wearing money. She was wearing money, and she knew. Well, when you wear money, this is what you get.
I guess.
Yeah.
So,
I gasped when they called Alyssa Hunter. I was like, oh. I was like, really? I was like, they both should have went home. It was It was one of the worst lip syncs I've seen in a while.
I mean, the week before was worse. The week before was way worse.
It was with Maddie.
With Maddie, and
that should have been a double
elimination. The one before was way worse. I understood why Carrie Colby was not, because of that dress.
Period.
She was wearing. She had money on her.
Yeah.
Like you don't. This is not something you whip off. You just bitch.
Yeah.
Stays as is. So
I also feel like they, and maybe this is my own bias, but I feel like they placate to and protect more of the trans individuals because they don't want the controversy of having all the trans people go first. And then it being like, oh, Rue doesn't really like trans. Yeah, she let him on, but they always get canceled, within the first couple of episodes. So I feel like even if she did poorly in the lip sync, I feel like she wouldn't have gone. Just like Maddie last week, Maddie Maddox, whatever his name is, Maddie Morphosis, did last week. Like, he should have went home. Like that performance of him like being stiff as a board. Even when he walk out on the runway, you can
tell he's straight. That's how you know he's straight.
So straight. Like,
because it's the pose and he's like,
and his J-Lo outfit too. His walk was so bad.
Like, I feel like he still hasn't. I feel like he still think there's might be like almost going to be this judgingness if he completely goes all the way in. Like, I feel like he could probably go all the way in the femme energy and all this.
Well, she needs to morph into her motherfucking name, okay, bitch, and get the job done.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I do like his creativity as a drag performer, but I feel like his costumes, and this may be because he's a product of living in BFE, Arizona, or wherever, Utah, or wherever he's coming from. Yeah. One of them saws out there, but like his outfitting, like his drag is not like super polished. You can tell, but
the way he painted his eyes, his face.
He's not a good painter.
No, he's not
a good painter.
He's not. But this kind of how we talked about Junior Malaya, about like you can tell that she hasn't been doing it for a while. You can tell that he said he's been doing it for a little bit, but you can tell, to Kerel's point, I don't think he has dove all the way into it. I think
he's still a little scared of it.
Right. I think right now he's just still doing something that he finds joy out of, versus enhancing it, the craft in which he finds joy.
Well, I love what you said about that, because there's like this. drag can be performance, right? Focused. It can be just visually focused, like your performance as you're dancing, you're performing, you're, doing that or the other. Visually, it's like you wearing sickening just looks, right? And then there's like, obviously there's like the whole, like, I don't know, like beauty queen, kind of like that whole genre of like poise and all that kind of stuff, whatever. And then there's like these folks that are very conceptual, like these conceptual artists,
like the Evie Oddleys and
and I feel like he's still trying to figure out his lane. What is his drag? What is that?
I think Angeria is the one to watch out. Angeria's
for real.
That bitch is funny to me.
Yeah,
that bitch, and she doesn't even. I don't even know if she realizes how funny she is. She's just being herself. I'm like, okay, those are the ones you always got to watch out because A, she's clearly caring about the craft because her looks are stunning, everything. Yes. But then when you just funny, just for the sake of it, you don't even know you that funny, and this shit is just rolling up like she's like, you an ugly bitch.
Ugly. Ugly
like,
bitch.
You funny as hell.
I howled. Fell out of my chair when he said, "You ugly bitch." It's just like,
I was like, you know what, Angeria, I can't stand your ass. Like, she might be my favorite now over even Cornbread because Cornbread is doing the most right now.
No, but did I call it? I said that last week. That was the question. Who you think gonna be the villain? And I said it will be Cornbread, and sure enough. That's who it was that last episode.
She was just doing the most. I was like, I agree that old girl Jasmine was talking too much, but then I was like, okay, now you're being a bully. Like, what the fuck for? Who cares? Don't listen to her ass. Yeah. But then we see the breakthrough, so I think they did that because that means Cornbread's probably gonna be here for the long run.
I mean, she had a whole story arc in that whole episode.
She had a whole story arc in the first 4 episodes. We're like, damn, we know this bitch's whole life at this point. Shit.
Look, she's carrying the show right now because truth be told, like these first 4 episodes, I've been entertained, but like I'm not gagged, I'm not gooped, I'm not delivered, I'm not anything. Like I'm just like, okay, well, maybe this will get interesting when they knock down a couple of.
Willow's something special too.
Yeah. But I mean, when you take the whole show in consideration, it's like beyond just like the looks that they're bringing and their creativity, whatever. It's like, what is the entertainment value? And look, they better bring it with these lip syncs because right now
these lip syncs are horrible,
awful.
And I feel like they're not picking good songs either. Why did you pick Jennifer Lopez Play out of all of her songs? Like, I like the song Play, but you got for Drag Race, you gotta do like a Waiting for Tonight. You gotta like
that's what I thought it was going to be. Yeah,
Play.
Like why would you do a night of 1,000 Jennifers or J-Los, and then you would pick a song that's really not
song that we would listen to of J-Lo.
Right. That one, I don't understand that at all.
And then Falling for Alicia Keys, that's not a good like lip sync song to do. Like, so their song selection so far this season are like questionable.
I'm glad this is my first season hearing you two talk, because now when I think about it, like I'm not overly like impressed. So if this is like if this is bad, then I'm like, okay, cool. Because if I would have watched another season that was good and then watched this, I probably would have jump shipped.
Yeah.
Like
season 13 was pretty good.
I'm trying to think. Who won 13?
That was
that one girl.
It's
Simone.
Simone.
That was
good. Rose and girl that be talking. No.
Yep, it was Gottmik.
Dominican girl. No, I said Gottmik already, but it's the one that was fighting everybody.
Who was fighting? I forget who was fighting.
He almost got into a fight with what's her face? Old girl that oh gosh, why can't I think of her name right now?
I've been memorable.
She's the one that got into like a Twitter beef with Monet Exchange. What is her name?
Not ringing the bell.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But I was the first episode was great. Second episode, third episode, Fourth episode, okay, we're getting there. Cornbread needs better wig selection. Like, still, she was wearing a stupid ass wig. That wig was crunchy. Like, for Jennifer Lopez, the gown was great. She did a good recreation of the gown for her body type and everything. Yeah, but that crunchy wig. Not doing anything. No favors for your body type and your drag. Like, you're too good for them wigs. Come on now.
I wonder how much of like last minute stuff changing they be doing, you know, from like what they originally planned on putting together versus when they actually get to the competition, they actually see how this thing is working out. They're like, oh, dang, maybe I need to do this and do that and do whatever.
Yeah. Very well could
but
be, but
they better bring it.
Yeah.
I just watched the first episode of UK versus the World yesterday. So when y'all watch that, maybe next week we can talk about that, because you know our girl Mo Hart is on there.
Yes, I need to watch.
Looking like a whole snack.
I might even watch that tonight yet.
Let me go back in this
chat. I'm gonna watch it tonight too. I should have screenshotted it. Damn, now I gotta scroll a lot in our chat. But condolences to hold on, let me get her name.
Yes. Crystal.
What was her full? Yeah,
Cheslie
Kryst.
Yeah, Cheslie Kryst.
That shook me a little bit. Like,
me too. Me too.
And it just shows mental health, y'all, in our community is something, y'all. We gotta take care of each other and see something, say something. And a lot of times you don't see anything. Like, and it's just sad that it's just sad, period.
Yeah.
And so for those who don't know, she was the Miss USA, and it just been confirmed that she committed suicide last week, and only 30 years old.
Yeah.
That's still a baby. I feel for the family, and I feel that she was going through stuff that, like, you know, that was her ultimate decision. And
but you know, we like, this just goes back to that whole conversation that we need to, especially within our community, start talking about mental health a lot more, you know, because that's something that's truly still not to this day something that we ingrain, and we still, and our younger people, and she's 30, so she's more part of our generation, you know, so I totally understand like that gap. But when you think about someone who is in the public eye, and you think about social media and how we learned about, you know, mental health and some of the lack thereof, you know, I can't imagine being strong enough to deal with a lot of these internet bullies and a lot of the stuff that you may get and stuff like that. And so that being said, our children go through it. Everyone who is in a profile or just generation after us, we need to be teaching them. We need to be talking about, and that was one of the things I was super proud of my nephew's middle school, because in gym they talked about mental health, and they were like, so what do you like, so what makes you stressed? You know, and was just like, and what do you do to fix it? You know, like, how can we control, you know, how do we know what we can control and what we can't control? And he's 11 years old, and they are teaching this in school.
Yes, they should.
That's great.
And I was just like, thank God.
Fuck
like,
cursive.
You know, like, that's what I needed to know.
Seriously.
Right?
Yeah.
Period.
So,
well, that's one of the reasons why the theme for this year's Black History Month is health and wellness, right? And shining a light on, you know, the emotional, mental, and psychological well-being of, you know, people within the Black community, while also shining a light on, you know, those that are in the medical profession that are, you know, helping to serve and contribute, you know, also, but it's really shining a light on, you know, how we really need to be thoughtful and mindful about our health. And we can't be so cavalier, you know, and careless about these things that have really, really deep impacts to how we operate and how we navigate through the world.
I agree.
So we gotta support one another, and we gotta, you know, sometimes have some tough conversations, and we gotta be honest with one another. And we need to, you know, be, you know, more thoughtful around, you know, how we're letting, what voices we're allowing space.
Yes.
To and around us, in us, that we're listening to, because if you got a lot of people out there who don't have a growth mindset, who don't have a positive mindset, who always got something negative to say about somebody, even if it's about somebody else and it's not about you, that kind of negativity clings onto you. It's like lint, you can't walk through the cotton field without picking up a little bit, so not the best reference.
I was about to say,
not the best. I was like,
I was gonna let it go, but I was like,
ooh.
That's that English coming out of you.
I'm not gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say it. I was like, I'm not gonna say it. But you know what I mean. Just be careful about the people that you have around you, and there ain't nothing wrong with a little clearing.
Yes.
Whether it's shutting down, your Instas and your social medias for like a day, a week, a month, 6 months, a year, whatever, taking a break from, the grinders and the apps or whatever, taking up a hobby, to fill the void that you would have otherwise, being surrounded by other people. You just have to find a way to really protect yourself.
Yeah, find a way to break through. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, but and then they've identified 6 people of interest, and I hate this article right here. It says 6 tech savvy juveniles. No, bitches, they terrorists because they are calling bomb threats on the HBCUs. Call it what it is. But so this is why it's just so hard to be fucking black. You can't even go to fucking class to better yourself without bitches calling in bomb threats to fuck up your life. Like, this is crazy.
They be so pressed about what we do. And can't you worry about what you do? Just do you.
Golly.
Come on, Billy Ray Cyrus. Like, just do you and the chick that ate the butter, whatever her name was, that cooks with the butter. What's her name?
I'm done with you.
Y'all can just stay over there and let us do our own damn thing. Come on now.
So I'm glad that the FBI put this and took this seriously, and that it was fairly quick that they found these people, or at least have these people of interest, because sometimes they just be letting shit fly and leaving us out on our own. But come on, and again, for people that say racism is the thing of the past, clearly these are young people.
Yeah. Young
people calling in colleges. So this habitual nature of y'all pressed against us, like, this shit gotta stop. I'm so tired of it. So community out there, stay safe. Keep your wits around. Like, look out for your brother and sister at these HBCUs.
Yeah.
And if you gotta throw some hands on these juveniles, these white juveniles, because they press. Like, it's ridiculous. And then Rafa 121.
Yes, he did.
And
sorry, no
back. It was a great match.
Bitch.
It was a great. Oh, she watched it?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I watch tennis, girl.
She do watch tennis. That is true.
I watch tennis. That is
true.
I don't watch all of it, but when it comes to the semifinals, I'll catch it from the semifinals on.
Okay.
That's all that really matters.
She said, I caught it in the 5th set, 5 hours in, but I caught it. I don't blame you, because it was a long match. But I was like, come on, Rafa. That one actually made me like almost like teary. I was like, this dude don't pull it out. He done pulled it out 2 sets down at that. Just because I just didn't want no back. I just don't want no back to. So I was just rooting for Rafa. I was like, come on, Rafa, come on. Picking that wedgie out your ass with them thighs and them arms. And
one thing I did notice is that they, like, when they announced that, obviously that he had won or whatever, and you saw all the all the posts and whatnot, they did not pick very attractive photos of Rafa at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like, the pictures look like horse teeth, just like all teeth.
But he's kind of aging though. He's aging.
He is. Yeah,
like when especially when he's serving too, he makes this weird ass face now.
Oh yeah, it does.
And when he talks, he always lifts that brow too, and that brow like line. I got a brow line, but his is deep in there.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, the aging process isn't doing you too many favors, but the body is still good.
The cakes are still there. The legs,
cakes are still there.
Yeah.
But the face, yeah. Oh,
he's looking a little gaunt in the face, in my opinion.
I feel like he's lost some pounds this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like he slenderized a little bit. But no, congrats to Rafael Nadal. It's gonna be an interesting year in tennis now to see if he could come back and get 22 at the French.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which, I mean, like after watching him play on the hard court at the Australian Open, bitch can do it.
He said he was thinking about retiring because he was just so injured so much, and he was like, "I was thinking about not coming back to Australia no more." And he's like, "Well, bitch, I'll see you next year."
Yeah,
when they can do about it good,
man.
And he's like the French Open is where he's won the most of his Grand Slams. I think it's like
13
of them, and then everything else is like either 2 or 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like 2 or 4.
He's had some like heartbreaks at the Australian Open over the time too.
Yeah.
And so it was cool just to see him get this one. And shout out to Danielle Collins too, American woman. She kind of broke through in this tournament a little bit. Yeah. Lost a boring ass Ash Barty, but
you know, I watched that, and Danielle you can tell she played in her head.
She did, because she was up 5-1 in the second set.
Yeah, she played in her head. That was not a good picture at all. But she was just all up in her head.
She was.
If she would have played like she did in that semifinals or any other match,
the whole tournament,
the whole tournament.
Yeah,
that's not. Yeah.
He has good teeth, but yeah,
we don't need to see all of them.
And on that note, go to minorityareport.com and get some merch and wash your hands and wash your legs and wash your ass. And by the way, I wore my wash your hands, legs, and ass shirt to the Lakers Atlanta Hawks game, and we were by the Lakers bench, and they were all cracking up at the sweatshirt. I was like, Minority Report, bitch, get you some merch. All right, y'all, have a good night.
Bye, y'all.